My name's Rebecca Adams. I'm the founder and executive director of First Light Widowed Association. I lost my husband Daniel 10 years ago. We were only married 6 weeks and he died unexpectedly from suicide. The day I sat down with another young widow was life-changing for me. I'd had counselling and I'd had a lot of support, but having a conversation with someone who could understand what I was feeling and reflect that back to me and validate my emotions was so powerful and really helped me more than anything else.
Hi, my name's Jo Smith-Hooker and I'm the Operations Manager for First Light Widowed Association. I lost my husband Daniel in 2013. He died suddenly in a motorbike accident. It was very sudden. He died on the scene, so it was a knock by police on the door that night. It took a long time before I found support, mainly because I was in a regional area.
So 12 months after my husband died, I had gone looking for support and resources. I had just assumed there'd be a program or a website or a fact sheet on how to navigate widowhood. I was really surprised that there was nothing here in Australia. So really desperate for information and connection, I travelled to America and I attended Camp Widow.
During my first few in-person catch-ups, I found that the connection with another young widowed person was what helped me in taking those steps that I knew I needed to take to move forward. Just connecting with another young widowed person that was having the same crazy thoughts or the same experiences, and that relief in knowing I'm not crazy. So that connection was incredibly important for me. Connecting with First Light that day, I left knowing that I wanted to be a part of what they were doing. I'd gone looking for support for myself, and I left that day knowing that I never ever wanted another young widowed person to feel as alone as I did in those early years, and I wanted to help in any way I can.
Knowing how amazing that experience was, I came back to Australia wishing that I could bundle up all of the other young widows who were living here and take them over and give them access to that program. Obviously, logistically, that wasn't possible. So the next best approach was working out how do we bring such an amazing, life-changing experience out to Australia. And that really started the dream for creating First Light. That was 7 years ago. So in that time, First Light's come a long way. We were a volunteer-based organisation for the first 6 years. And now we have 4 part-time staff and we run a range of programs for widowed people all around Australia.
Hi, I'm Jodie Carpenter. I was widowed just over 3 years ago and Google searches led me to First Light. It's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Hi, I'm Greg and I've been widowed for 4 years. I have 2 children. They are 10 and 14 and they were 6 and 10 when Emma died.
My name's Paul and I've been a widow for approximately 6.5 years. It was June 2017 when my wife passed away. Just Googling through, looking for people in similar situations.
My name is Molly. My husband Ben passed away 4 years ago. As my journey went along the first year, I just wasn't getting anywhere. I was drowning. I felt completely alone.
My name's Lucy. I was widowed 15 months ago. It felt very lonely because I didn't know who I could talk to without them either telling me that it'll be all right, you've got to move on, or without them just shutting up shop because they're just so terrified they're going to say something that will trigger me.
In 2022, we launched our Newly Widowed Packs. These are a suite of hard copy fact sheets that outline various stages of widowhood, those early days, caring for grieving children, dealing with finances, wills and estates. They are for young widowed people to reach out and receive free of charge, but they're also for those supporting widowed people, their family, their friends, colleagues, and even professionals.
We run a local catch-ups program, which involves widowed people volunteering to host face-to-face catch-ups in their area. By attending a local catch-up, it gives people the opportunity to talk face-to-face with other young widowed people.
So I went to the first catch-up and I remember Jodie, and she was so welcoming. You know, I had a lot of anxiety about turning up to my first catch-up, but it was allayed quite quickly.
I attended my first catch-up within weeks of finding First Light. I guess it became the highlight of my monthly calendar to go along and spend time with other widowed people that really understood what was going on. I now host my own catch-up. It's just so beautiful and so rewarding seeing people get their confidence back and blossom into this new life.
Yeah, and went to my first catch-up. There was only about 10 people there. I didn't say a word, couldn't speak. I was just too emotional. I feel it was beneficial for myself and my well-being, just to be in a similar situation with other people.
And I didn't realise that I'd been holding it in for so long. It started me on my healing journey that paid professionals just weren't cutting through. But I just felt alone and didn't feel alone.
I think for anyone who is wondering whether or not it's a good thing to do, I would encourage them to reach out and get that support. It's actually a really healing experience. I found the first Camp Widow, for me, I was at a different point in my grief. I suppose I was coming up to 3 years. I was starting to think about who I might be, and I found it quite confronting emotionally.
And then camp rolled around. I wasn't actually going to go because it was, 2 days after Graham's first anniversary. So it was all very fresh and very painful. And I didn't know how I'd go sitting in a room with other people talking about death. They get it. If there's anyone on this planet that's going to get where I was at for that first anniversary, it was going to be the people that have either been there already or are heading towards it.
Walking in the first camp, I found it very daunting, but I knew that I wasn't alone. The workshops were really great. I found that they gave you tools to manage certain situations.
Each time I've gone back, I've done 3 camps. Each time I go back, I take away something different from it. You know, there's a different level of either acceptance or self-knowledge.
In every single one, I got something different. I heard different things because I was further along in my journey. So this has helped me also be a better parent to children who are grieving.
The Camp Widow this year I found very different, and I'm at a different stage as well. So I found it much more in terms of helping me in terms of what my life will look like going forward. The different sessions provide value in different ways. Hearing what people have to say and then having fellow widows that then you can kind of talk about it afterwards is really helpful.
My second camp was the third camp. You feel a lot more at ease walking in there. You're a lot more at ease, you take it in, it's more of a social aspect as well. It's a lot easier, but at the same time it still gives you tools.
Yeah, it was intimidating at first, but then you realise that we're all there for the same reason. We're all just looking for our community. And that's exactly what Camp Widow was. It was a community.
We created a website that's full of resources and information, both for widowed people and their family and friends and support networks. The resources and information that we provide can reduce the risks of complicated grief and mental health impacts.
The people that are finding us earlier are actually moving forward in a far better, more organic way. My wish is just that if anybody has that loss, that the sooner they can find us, the sooner that they can start that healing journey.
I wish that it was more talked about. I wish it was more readily available. If you think about that person that you care about that's alone and you don't know how to help, this is an organisation that's surrounded by people that can help, that understand firsthand exactly what they're feeling and exactly what they need. To have a group of people in an organisation that's willing to sit down and go, hey look, this might be the next step you might need to take, or just food for thought on how to approach your new reality.
I think the way that I've been able to come on that journey has been a large part because of the people and the connections and what I've learned through First Light. But having that First Light community has really helped me. It's helped me be a better person. It's helped me be a better friend. It's helped me be a better parent. Getting that from First Light is something that I didn't get anywhere else.
Our dream is that every newly widowed person in Australia can find First Light and access our support in the early days when it's needed the most, right through to years down the track.
The only way that a charity runs is by donation. You know, I know that I wouldn't have been able to go to Camp Widow if it wasn't for the fact that those tickets were subsidised. That wouldn't have happened without people's generosity in assisting and helping support really vulnerable people.
First Light rocks.